So what about structuring this ministry? What do I mean by that? Well, I mean that I used to be a youth minister in a church, and I could easily find guides on uh, the structure, on how to be a youth minister in the church. I'd have these pillars and these references and a way to find how to do that job properly. Same thing for social justice ministry and other ministries. I could refer to documents and ideas and authors that were, giving direction to these ministries. When it came to creation care ministry, there was nothing out there. No official guide, no real good references. There was lots of theology, but not really creation care ministry. So I wanted to structure this ministry, and that's the reason why I went to do a master's in theology at Université de Montréal, and the title of my thesis was Defining Creation Care Ministry as a New Ministry in the Catholic Church in Quebec. It was very pointy, but obviously the findings could be used anywhere. And in the abstract, we read this. This research attempts to define creation care so that it is recognized as a ministry in the Catholic Church in Quebec. I followed the method of pastoral praxeology inspired by the humanities so that this practice is both effective in the field and faithful to the gospel of Jesus Christ. And then the abstract goes on. So this is what I did. I'll leave the link below if ever you understand French and you want to go see my thesis. But I did work on it so it would be more digestible to other people, and that's why I transformed it into the book that I wrote, Greening Your Church, which has everything in there. During this research, I read about 70 books. And one of the most important ones was written by André Beauchamp, Environment and the Church, Environnement et Église, and I'm translating here. But he says, I will define a certain number of tasks to be carried out in a church ministry focused on the preservation of the environment. He's writing this book in a very exploratory manner. I hope that by the years that have passed, now we're able to structure it better. That's what I'm doing with this course here. Okay, so according to André Beauchamp, this is what was necessary to create a ministry in the church about the environment. The first step is to develop a new image of the human being and the world that helps to remedy the current crisis. Okay, sounds like education. Number 2. It is then a question of inscribing the environment in liturgical prayer. That sounds like spirituality. It's a matter of advocating simplicity of life in a perspective of solidarity and equity towards the world's poor. That means changing habits and things in our lives. That sounds a lot like action. Finally, it is a question of harmonizing the internal management of the church as an institution. It also means naming what's happening, and so calling it a ministry. So here are what I would call, the pillars. 3 main pillars: education, spirituality, action, and then you have another one which is recognizing this as a ministry. Now, André Beauchamp is a Catholic priest in Quebec, and he wrote his book in 2008. But then there are 3 other books out of the 70. So 4 books that were saying the same thing, and 3 of them were pretty much, zoomed in on the same historical period. So André Beauchamp, Catholic priest, 2008 in Quebec, Canada. And then we have an evangelical pastor who wrote Our Father's World, published it in 2008. He's from Wisconsin. And a Reformed pastor from Switzerland, he contributed in a book in 2010 called Paroisse Verte. And the first one we see there in 1996, so that was pretty amazing. And look, they're not even pastors or priests. These were 4 Christian biologists in 1996 in the Midwest. Okay? To my knowledge, they didn't have any influence on each other. They all saw the church they were in, whatever denomination, and they would get this calling from God and read Scripture and be conscious of the world around and just realize that we needed a ministry. And all 4 of them expressed the same 3 pillars in different words, but it was all pointing in the same direction. And here they are: spirituality, education, and action.